So you saw Taylor Swift announce a second US leg of the Eras Tour, and you really want to go, you really want to get tickets, but you remember hearing about the whole Ticketmaster fiasco from last November, and you're really scared and you don't know what to expect for getting these tickets. I'm here to help you prepare for another harsh battle of Ticketmaster coming up for the second leg of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour. Here's your video for all the information you're gonna need for preparing yourself and what to do for when you're getting tickets and everything for the Eras Tour. Yeah, whether you've gotten tickets before or not, I hope some of this information helps. So if you didn't know by now, I love Taylor Swift, if you couldn't tell. And I have now been to the Eras Tour 5 times, and all those times, all those tickets were all from the pre-sale from last November. None of them were purchased resale because I refused to pay resale prices, so I was like, I need to get all these tickets today. I scored 5 tickets. I'll tell you how, I'll give you all my tips and tricks. I'm not saying this is 100% foolproof because it's not, and you may not end up with no tickets depending on how Ticketmaster works day of this pre-sale. I believe pre-sale is tomorrow if you're watching this video the day it comes out, and she just announced this leg like last week, so I didn't have much time to make this, but I'm trying to make it pretty fast. So let me get the dates ready so you know, if you're watching this, you know exactly what's going on. So let's start from the beginning. So last November, or maybe it was like October, but I think it was like November-ish, Taylor Swift announced the Eras Tour. And then once she announced that, you could go register, sign up for verified fan, and that would give you a chance to, you know, do the pre-sale tickets, and then there was going to be a general admission sale. Well, the pre-sale went so poorly and they sold out of so many tickets that they canceled the general sale. So then basically it screwed over a lot of people and they couldn't get tickets or they had to pay resale. But I'm just going to start from the beginning of the whole ticket process and, you know, go to the very end. And I will say I did get 2 Chicago tickets, 2 dates from the Capital One pre-sale that happened the day after the verified fan pre-sale last time. I technically only got 3 dates from the actual verified fan pre-sale last year, which is how hard it was to get these tickets. So like I said, she just announced another leg, which is next fall, so obviously there's tons of time to plan for this and everything. I signed up for verified fan through Ticketmaster, and so I got an email saying you'll receive an email on Tuesday, August 8th, which is the day that this video might be uploaded, or I might upload it the day before, whatever, Tuesday, August 8th, confirming the next steps. I believe, from what I've heard, pre-sale is on August 9th. I believe it is. We'll see. I kind of missed that information when I was signing up. Yeah, sorry, I don't have very reliable information with that. That brings me to my first step of the Taylor Swift ticket buying process, signing up for a verified fan. So if you haven't done that at this point, unfortunately, it is too late to do that for this leg because it closed August 5th. And you had to be signed up by then. So if you didn't do that, this video might not be for you. This comes my first tip. Sign up with as many Ticketmaster accounts as you can possibly make. I have 3 of them right now. I probably should have made a 4th one, but I have one with my email, my school email, and my parents' email. I signed up for it with all of those, and I did that with the last pre-sale as well. So just as many as you can, and if you're going with your friends, obviously get them to sign up, and just as whoever you know that is going, or if they're not going, ask if you can use their email. Another tip is to be flexible with show dates. Obviously some people, if you work or you just have other commitments, you have to, like, you're either seeing her on this one day or not at all. But if possible, because she is doing around, I think, 3 shows in most cities, and then she's doing 6 shows in Toronto, be as flexible as you can. Like, if you, like, be open to being at any of those 3 shows, because you never know. Either Ticketmaster's gonna tell you this is your code for this day, or I'm not sure how the codes are gonna work this time, because either they'll give you a code like you can only use it on this day to buy tickets, or it's a code for the whole city. You know, don't be afraid of trying any of the dates, you know, trying to go in and buy tickets from any of the dates, because different dates are going to sell out faster, or, you know, there might be leftover tickets at this date that you weren't originally planning on to, but they're really good tickets, so now you're going to that date. Gotta be flexible. That's how I was with, like, the Minneapolis shows. I just signed up for Minneapolis, and then she added a second date, and I was like, well, I'll just, you know, either one. As long as I can get tickets to one of those dates, I'll be happy. So now getting into the actual, like, ticket buying experience, day of ticket experience. So I believe with the last pre-sale, and I think this goes for most concerts on Ticketmaster, is pre-sale starts at 10 a.m. the time zone that the show is in. So, like, for me, I live in Wisconsin, and I was buying tickets for the Chicago shows. It started at 10 a.m. my time because I live in the same time zone as Chicago. So make sure you know when 10 a.m. is. Like if you're buying for the Miami show but you live in California, like make sure you know the time zones, you know exactly when that pre-sale is gonna start. Because that's the first way that you could mess up, is you either wake up too late or you miss the pre-sale altogether, and that would suck. Make sure you know what time it starts. Like I said, most of the time it's 10 a.m. But if you do get picked for verified fan, I can't say that, they will email you with all the information and everything. And you're gonna want to do this on as many devices as possible. The thing is, you're gonna want like one device almost. I guess you could do different tabs as well. But last time for the pre-sale I did one device for each Ticketmaster account. Because even if you log into your one Ticketmaster account from different devices, it's just gonna like put you in the same screen, if that makes sense. You're gonna be in the same spot in the line on all the devices because it's gonna think you're on the same account. So like for my own personal email account for Ticketmaster, I'll have that on my laptop, and then for my parents maybe I'll have that on like their laptop, and then on my iPad maybe I'll log into my school account for Ticketmaster and have all those going for whatever show I get picked. If the only thing is, that's only if you get picked for verified fan for all those different Ticketmaster accounts. So whichever Ticketmaster account you have verified fan on, I would suggest using a laptop if possible, because that's just the easiest way to get in and pick your seats and look at the map, because trying to like zoom in on the map and click everything on your phone, I've learned from experience that just does not work as well. So a laptop or computer, desktop, whatever is the best way to go, I would say. You can still get tickets with other like devices, like don't worry, but I would just say if you have access to a laptop, that would be the best way to go. Yeah, and like I said earlier, have your friends that you're going with, sign up, and if they get picked, they can be on their own laptop and they can, you can communicate through them. Like I was FaceTiming my friends last time, we were buying tickets and we were all on our own devices trying to get tickets, and just make sure you're communicating with that group so you don't end up with a bunch of tickets, because I'm not sure, from what I've heard, is that these tickets are not transferable, which means that you can't sell them and transfer them to someone else, unfortunately. I'm not sure. I know why, like that's to prevent people buying them just to resell them. I'm not sure how that's all gonna go, because I know the international dates, like the London dates, you can't transfer your tickets right now. Like there's no way for you to sell that ticket and transfer that to someone else, which is unfortunate. But it's also good, because then, people who are just buying them to resell them can't resell them then. So just make sure you're communicating and you know how many tickets you need, and you're not buying more or less, whatever you need. So yeah, again, one laptop for each Ticketmaster account, or not laptop, but one device for each Ticketmaster account, or even just different tabs. I believe I did different tabs at the other pre-sale, if I remember correctly, because I didn't have enough devices for each individual one. It's just nice when you can watch the lines move on each one so you know where you are in line. So like I said, yeah, if you can get people, even if they're not going with you, to just, kind of sit with your computer or whatever, get them to help if they can, or, if you are working or at work, if you're working or at school and they can log on and get in line for you, whatever. I still managed to get myself Chicago and Minneapolis tickets. And I did have one friend group got us the Cincy tickets, the Cincinnati tickets, and then my other friend, she got us the Chicago Night 3 tickets. So it wasn't all me, it was definitely my friends got a lot of my tickets too. So then actually like getting onto Ticketmaster, so the waiting room, I believe it goes waiting room, then queue, then you're in to get tickets. So the waiting room opens 30 minutes before the sale, so you're gonna want to be on Ticketmaster 30 minutes before the sale, because they say it doesn't matter like how early you get there, whatever, in the queue. From personal experience, the earlier you get in the waiting room, the faster you're gonna get through the queue. Last pre-sale maybe didn't work like that, but for the international dates, I know it kind of worked if you got there early. Even like I like to have my tabs open even like 45 minutes early. I'll be on Ticketmaster right when that waiting room opens. Join the waiting room, like because you're gonna have to click a button to join the waiting room as well. So refresh it at a half hour before 10, so like 9:30 obviously, or whenever the pre-sale starts. Refresh it till you can join the waiting room, then don't refresh it, because then you're just going to be in the waiting room, and then once that pre-sale starts, it's going to automatically refresh and put you into the queue. You can refresh it. They'd say like don't refresh it. You can refresh it yourself. I don't usually do that. I just let it put me into the queue because I get scared it's going to kick me out or something, especially because so many people are going to be on Ticketmaster. Just don't really mess with the refreshing, because it's going to refresh it itself. how many times can I say refresh? So yeah, so just let it put you into the queue and then you're in line to buy tickets. So you just gotta be patient and let it do its thing. Another thing about being flexible, you gotta be flexible not just with what date you're seeing, but with where your seats are. So obviously you're gonna want in your head and with if you're with friends or whatever, like in your mind where you may want those seats, if you want floor seats or if you want lower bowl, 200s, 300s, 400s, wherever. Any seat, from my experience, any seat at the Eras Tour is a good seat. Like I will say that, like you're gonna have an amazing time no matter where you are. You can see her from like anywhere in the stadium. It's so good. But know where kind of like the general area where you want seats. If you want floor seats, if you want lower bowl, just know where to click on the screen to get those tickets. I'm assuming, you know, a lot of people obviously want to be in the first few rows on the floor or lower bowl. Those are obviously going to sell out the quickest. So be flexible if you want to be a few more rows back or, you know, move up to the bowl, whatever. Like just be flexible because your seat is probably going to sell out. The one that you want is probably going to sell out. Again, I know from experience. So yeah, just kind of, you're going to kind of have to go for whatever seat is left when you get in there. Or, you know, be willing to walk away and say, okay, I didn't get tickets from this pre-sale because none of the seats I wanted were open. Maybe I'll look for resale. Like that could also be a thing that happens too. Another thing, so now you're through the queue, you're waiting in line, because the thing is after you're in the queue, you're going to be waiting in line for a long time. I know the last pre-sale, it was all day. Like I was in those queues all day. I didn't do anything but wait in those queues because I was just so nervous for getting these tickets. Obviously you can do other stuff while you're waiting in them, just like pay attention so you can watch it, make sure you're not missing your turn. Because it will, if you do miss your turn, it'll be like, oh, your turn started at 10:20 or whatever, and you can click, oh yeah, let me go in, and because it'll like say, do you want to take your turn? And you go yes. So it's going to put you into whatever's left. It's not going to save you tickets. It's just going to throw you in, and if the tickets are sold out, it's going to be like, sorry, they're sold out. So that's another thing about Ticketmaster. I'm just trying to think of like every little scenario as possible that could possibly happen to you. Once it says, okay, it's your turn, and you're getting all nervous and it's putting you in to the actual seat map, because Ticketmaster has a seat map, I like to turn on, okay, before we get there, you're gonna have to type in a code, because with Verified Fan, they're gonna send you, hey, you're picked for a Verified Fan, or you're on the wait list, or I think it's either one of those. I don't think there's a third option. If you're picked, they're gonna send you a code. Last round was through text, so whoever's Ticketmaster account, you know, got Verified Fan, they're gonna text that person, so make sure you can communicate with them and they can send you that code. It's gonna tell you which date you're picked for and then the access code for that date. So you're gonna wanna have that code ready. I had it written down on a sticky note, and then I also had it copied. I had it like typed in and copied on my laptop so I could just hit paste and get into those tickets. And you have to use that code on that Ticketmaster account. Like you have to know which code goes to which Ticketmaster account, because that was also a thing. People were getting confused, like they were in the wrong account and all that stuff. Make sure you know, like I was stressing about this the night before. I was like, I had each code for each account like on the little sticky note, like so I knew which went where. Another thing with your Ticketmaster account is have your credit card, debit card, whatever into that account already, so when you get those tickets in your cart, you can just hit checkout and you're done. Because the longer you hesitate, the more chance that those tickets could slip away from you. And sometimes Ticketmaster, because the last pre-sale I know they didn't have like a timer, because sometimes Ticketmaster will, oh, these tickets are in your cart for 5 minutes, so then you have those 5 minutes to, you know, type in your card information or just like chill out and like make sure these are the tickets you want. Last pre-sale they didn't do that, so you had to literally just, basically it was whoever could freaking check out first, whoever could hit pay now first got those tickets, unfortunately. But I know recently they've added that cart timer back in, so I don't know what it's going to be like for this one. Just be open to any scenario, unfortunately. But yeah, another thing is to just be patient if tickets keep slipping away from you, because it's gonna be like, oh, sorry, these tickets, you weren't fast enough, another fan beat you to them. That's like the worst possible message to read at that point, because it's like, what do you mean? Just keep going, you know, obviously start with the seats that you want. If those are sold out, look for other possible options around, start moving up to the lower bowl, to the 200s, 300s. Just keep clicking, because on Ticketmaster you can either click by section or each individual seat. I like turning on each individual seat and zooming in and just kind of waving my mouse over to see the prices of everything. And I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but obviously have a budget, know what you want to spend, because impulse buying is very easy, especially for Taylor Swift. I feel like it's been a big thing where it's like people are spending way more than they really should be for these tickets. So know what you want to spend, have a limit. If the tickets you want are sold out, keep refreshing. If you're kicked out, because last pre-sale I know everyone is just kicked out like a million times. You'd get to the front of the line, you're kicked out to the back of the line. They don't even let you like in. So hopefully they fix that this time around. But keep refreshing. If nothing's popping up, if it's like, oh sorry, sold out, refresh. Like spend, if you can, as much time just refreshing that seat map, because they might add tickets back in periodically, or you know, just you never know when another wave of tickets is going to be released. If they kick you out to the back of the line, just stay in line until you get to the front. It's going to be a long, grueling process, so I don't know how much Taylor Swift tickets are worth to other people, but again, for me, I spent literally the whole of, what was that, like November 15th, that whole day getting kicked out, getting back in line, getting to the front, and then, oh, you're kicked out again. And it glitching and refreshing and tickets being sold out, and then I get back in line and I get back in and they're not sold out anymore. Just refresh, have patience, know what you want, know what you're going in for, be fast, be quick. There's another thing, price. I think on Ticketmaster you can toggle this on and off. You can either see the price of just the ticket, or you can see the price of the ticket with the fees and everything added. I like to look at it with the fees added, just so I know like, okay, this is like actually what I'm going to be paying, because you know, oh, it's a $150 ticket, ends up being over $200 by the time you're done. And yeah, then hopefully after all that, after hopefully less than a day of trying to get tickets, you will have tickets. I'm really hoping this pre-sale goes by, not goes by, but like goes way smoother than last fall. Like it was so bad. Which is another reason why I wanted to make this video, to help people, or even parents who are buying tickets for their kids or just whatever. Hopefully this helps. So you went through that whole process, you wasted your whole day trying to get tickets, and you ended up with nothing. Now the show is, say, in a few weeks, and you're just so bummed that you didn't get tickets in the pre-sale. There's no other sale, you can't find any like good, decent priced resale tickets. What Ticketmaster is gonna do, and at least what they've been doing for this leg of the US tour, is they've been releasing tickets beforehand, like about a week before, and then they also release tickets day of, literally leading up to like right when the concert show starts. Obviously this isn't feasible for everyone, because not a lot of people live like right by the stadium and are able to just sit outside the stadium and try and get tickets. But if you are able to, or if you're planning on just traveling anyways, you sit outside the stadium and maybe trying your luck at tickets. I'm gonna give you a few tips for that. I will say I have no experience with this. From what I've seen from other people's experiences with this is what I've gathered. Also for resale, good places to look are obviously Ticketmaster itself. Those resale prices are gonna be insane. I'd say look on like Facebook resale groups. Twitter, there's a really good account called Eras Resell. Is it just Eras Resell or something like that? Probably like Reddit probably has like some resale groups, and like I said, Ticketmaster. Just be very cautious when you're buying resale, because you don't know this person. They could be a scammer. Make sure they want to use PayPal goods and services, because that protects both your money and their money. Well, it's just gonna be your money going to them, but that protects your money going to them. So if they do end up being a scammer, you can get that money back. Yeah, anyways, so I think it's like a week before the show-ish, the week leading up to the show, Ticketmaster has been releasing, you know, rounds of tickets kind of sporadically. I'm not sure if they go on an actual time, because like I said, I've never had to like really pay attention, like that close attention to that. And then also, like I said, the day of the show, if you're able to sit outside the stadium on Ticketmaster, refreshing, just again, refreshing constantly until a ticket you want pops up and you can get it into your account. So that was a lot of information. I hope it was somewhat organized and helpful. I really hope everyone who wants tickets gets tickets. Yeah, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you saw her yet on this leg, if you have tickets to an international show. Hopefully we all have good luck at this pre-sale and it goes smoothly, and Ticketmaster actually knows their demand this time, and we all get verified fan and not the wait list. So good luck. If you have any other questions or more specific things that I maybe wasn't clear on, let me know. I'm totally willing to just, you know, help out anyone who needs help. See you next week. And like I said, let me know if you guys get tickets or not. Bye.